Hi guys, I'm back. I'm so sorry for the hiatus. I've been really sick for the past month, but I'm finally feeling better. And in other news, I did change my kingdom, so I'm not in 380 anymore. I'm in 356, and it's a really amazing kingdom so far. Really nice people, so I'm really happy here. Everything's the same, just new people. Today, I'm going to be doing a bear hunt guide. Some of my new friends in the new kingdom, they thought it would be really helpful if I made a bear hunt guide. So I figured it would be helpful to somebody else as well. So I thought I'd make the guide and put it on my YouTube. So hopefully this guide helps you. It's gonna be a lot of information. It's gonna be kind of complicated. I will try to make it as easy as possible. Also at the end of the video, it's optional, but I have a bear hunt in an hour. I will be playing bear hunt and I will be recording it. If you want to skip to the end of the video and watch me play bear hunt, just so you can see it in action, then go ahead, skip to the end of the video. It will be there for you. If you don't know what bear hunt is this event. You can begin playing bear hunt and earning forge hammers as early as your first week in Kingshot. So you place down the trap and you set a schedule and everyone joins the bear hunt event at the same time. It lasts 30 minutes, and at the last 5 minutes, you cannot lead a bear rally. So you do have to time it so that you can fit in as many rallies as possible in 25 minutes, but the overall event lasts 30 minutes. So the goal of bear hunt is to do as much damage as possible to the bear to collect more rewards. Let's check out these rewards. So in bear hunt, the more damage that you do, the more forge hammers you can earn. You can also earn some enhancement XP parts for your gear, but most importantly, you're earning forge hammers. If you don't know what forge hammers are, you can go to my hero gear guide and I will explain what forge hammers are there. But just so you know, you earn forge hammers in bear hunt. It is one of the best things that you can do to earn forge hammers. It's free. You just gotta show up and do as much damage as possible. Your total damage is going to be all of your rallies that you lead, plus all the rallies you join. Some quick notes about bear hunt. You can only lead one rally at a time. Another note about bear hunt is the bear does 0 damage to your troops. The goal of bear hunt is to do damage to the bear. It does not do damage to you. So therefore, the best troop type that you can have in bear hunt are archers, because archers do loads of damage. Your infantry takes damage and protects your cavalry and your archers, but your major damage dealers are going to be your archers. So you want as many archers as possible for bear hunt. Another note about bear hunt, lethality is the best possible buff that you can have to increase your damage. Quick overview how to increase your damage in your own rally. Strong rally leading champs. These are my 3 rally leading champs. These are my 3 top heroes, my infantry, cavalry, and archers. And these champs have the most upgraded gear. So if you look at these 3 champs, they have all of the upgraded gear. None of my other champs have upgraded gear. All of my gear upgrades go into these 3 champions so that they can pack an even bigger punch. Because you can only lead one rally at a time. So you really only need these 3 heroes. You don't need the other heroes. They're going to be your joiners. Well, not all of them, but we'll get into that later. So also how to increase your damage in your own rally is you can get lethality and attack buffs in two ways. The first way is going to this little arrow right here underneath your profile picture. You can use the squad's attack and the squad's lethality buff. And this does work in Bear Hunt, and I highly, highly recommend it if you have the gems to afford it. The other way to get lethality and attack buffs is you can go to the king appointments and you can request. You can only choose one. So out of those two, I would always choose lethality. If you're the leader of an alliance, what I highly recommend you doing is finding your two most powerful players in your alliance that pack the biggest punch and reserving these two spots for those two players. So your first strongest player in your alliance will get the lethality buff, and your second strongest player will get the attack buff. And then the third way to increase damage in your own rally is having a lot of archers. It is true that having a lot of archers in your rally can significantly increase your damage, but there's some issues with that. So I have 6 marches, and you're either going to have, if you're a free-to-play player, you'll probably have 4 marches. I bought the extra 5 and 6 marches, so I have 6 marches total. So you're going to have anywhere from 4 to 6 marches. So sometimes you do not have enough troops to equally disperse your archers to each march. Hopefully that makes sense. If I were to lead a rally with all archers, that is going to help me do more damage in my rally leading formation, but it's not going to leave a lot of archers for the rest of my marches. So that can really hurt your potential damage in other rallies. And that's especially important if your rally leading formation is not as strong as others. You could actually end up doing more damage in other rallies besides your own rally, but you kind of lose out on that damage if you don't have enough archers for it. So for me personally, like, yeah, people do say use as many archers as possible, but for me, I just equalize. Then that way, you're equally dispersing your archers throughout all of your marches. You can get maximum points. So, not just from your rally, but from other people's strong rallies. For example, I only have enough archers for 2 marches. So, if I were to do my rally leading formation with 135,000 archers, then I can only do one other rally with the rest of my archers. So the rest of my rallies will only have infantry and cavalry. So you're doing more damage in those 2 rallies with all archers, but you're losing out on damage on the other 2 to 4 marches that you have. The only time I really recommend doing all archers is realistically is if you have over 600,000 archers. Hopefully this makes sense. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to use all of your archers for only 2 marches, if that's how many archers you have. If you don't have enough archers for all of those marches, you're kind of leaving yourself at a deficit. So the best strategy if you don't have over 600,000 archers is just to equalize. All right. And next basic overview is how to increase your damage in other rallies. So the first point is going to be joining with the correct heroes. And this is the most important part about Bear Hunt because you're only leading one rally at a time with your 3 strongest heroes. And then for the other 3 to 5 rallies that you're joining, you can make a really big impact on the damage dealt by joining with the correct heroes. So what are those correct heroes? Let's use Chanko as an example. And we are going to be looking for all of these heroes that I'm going to be introducing to you. We are only going to be looking at the top right expedition skill. And I call this the ultimate expedition skill because, just a little side note, on the left-hand side, this is your conquest skills, and the top left is going to be your ultimate for your conquest skills. But on the right, this is your ultimate for expedition. This is the skill that's going to be applied to each rally. We're using Chanko as our base example because she is the best champion that you can join a bear hunt with. Why is that? Now let's look at her ultimate expedition skill. Okay? Stand of arms. So for each skill, when you level them up, it gives you an increased amount every time you level it up. So it goes from 5% to 25%. I have Stand of Arms level 5, so I get up to 25% lethality. And remember what I said, lethality is the most important buff that you can take into Bear Hunt, because this increases the damage that your archers can deal. This skill will get taken into the rally that you join, and if you have level 5, it's up to 25% lethality. Another really good hero for this is going to be Yeon Woo, and if we look at her ultimate expedition skill, it's the same thing as Chanko. It's lethality up to 25%. So she's a really good option besides Chanko. And another hero that has the same exact skill is going to be Amadeus. So if you can afford Amadeus, you can join rallies with him and bring this lethality bonus. It's the same thing, lethality up to 25%. There are other heroes that you can join rallies with, but they're a little different. But those are the three main heroes, I would say. It's going to be Chanko, Yeon Woo, and Amadeus. The other heroes you can join with are going to be Amane. Now, Amane is a little different. She increases the squad's total attack. The difference between lethality and attack, lethality is going to directly damage the enemy's HP. So you can kind of think of it as like a killing blow, right? So it's going to increase the damage dealt. Attack is going to decrease an enemy's defense. So yes, they're sort of doing the same thing, just in different ways, but you are going to be doing more damage with lethality, whereas attack is going to decrease the enemy's defense so you can do more damage. So attack is just as good. It'll go lethality first and then attack second, is how you can think of it. So Amane is another champion that you can use in joining rallies. She increases the squad's total attack by 25%. And then the last hero that I would say is not as good as all of these. She's not as good as all of these other options, but for what will sometimes happen in Bear Hunt is a lot of people will get excited about whoever starts their rally first, and they'll just send all of their heroes willy-nilly. So that will leave a few rallies that don't have any heroes, or they're lacking in those hero buffs. So for those rallies that are sort of empty, you can join with Hilda. Now, the reason why I say you can join with Hilda is because Hilda, if your ultimate expedition skill is level 5, you can increase the total squad's attack by 15%. Now, that's not as good as 25%, but it's something. If you have an empty rally, not a lot of heroes or no heroes at all, you can just throw in Hilda. And another important factor of using Hilda is if you have used all of your heroes, so you used Chenko, Yanwu, Amane, Amadeus, if you used all of those heroes to join, but you still have more marches, you don't want to join a rally with the wrong hero because that can completely mess things up. But when you join with a hero, it will actually increase the amount of troops that you can join with. So if you have as many troops as I do, I have over 600,000 troops and I have 6 marches. Sometimes you'll have troops left over. So the more rallies that you join with heroes, it will allow you to join with more troops. So if you were to join a rally with no heroes at all, then you can only join with, I think it's less than 100,000 troops. So if you have a lot of troops, it's smarter to use as many heroes as possible, but you don't want to join with the wrong heroes. So if you absolutely have to join with a hero and you used all of your other heroes, Hilda is a good option, in my opinion. You're probably wondering, what is the significance of using these heroes and how do they interact with the rallies? Let's take this, not that one. Okay, let's take this as an example, okay? And let's join with Chenko, okay? So just a quick note here, because I forgot to put it in the video really quick. So when you join a rally with one of these heroes as a rally joiner, you have to make sure that you're joining with that hero in the first slot. It won't add a rally bonus if it's in the second or third slot. So make sure you're joining with these heroes in the first hero slot. So as you can see here, the rally leader is using their 3 strongest heroes. So if you open this and this is the little yellow orangish flag icon right here. This will give you the rally bonus overview. So it'll tell you the total troops, the rally capacity, and then right here, the squad bonus via captain. This is all coming from the rally captain. So there are 3 heroes with all of the gear that they have on these heroes and all of the governor gear, charm stats, all of that is going to be added to the squad bonus. And that is only the rally captain. You have no influence over that whatsoever. Okay? And we scroll down here. The rally captain will also bring skills and widgets to the rally. Okay, so these 3 heroes, they each have 3 skills and they have 1 widget. And so that's what the rally captain will bring. They'll bring all of those skills and their widgets. Okay, so if we scroll down here to rally members, okay, this is how you influence the rally. Okay, and coming full circle, why we join with Chenko is because with Chenko's stand of arms skill, we are going to increase the entire rally's lethality by 25%. And you can only have up to 4 rally member bonuses. So only 4 people that join can bring a bonus. Okay? So if there are 8 Chenkos in a rally, only 4 of those Chenkos will come into effect. It's also dependent on the skill level. So if you have 4 Chenkos that are level 2 stand of arms skills, and then right after those 4 level 2s, you have 4 level 5s, all of those level 2s will be skipped and it'll be all the level 5s. Hopefully that makes sense. And the coolest thing about this, as you can see here, there's 3 Chankos and then there's a Yeon Woo. It's all increasing the total lethality by 25%. These stack, okay? So in total, we are bringing 100% total lethality just as joiners to the entire rally. That is why it's so important to join with the correct heroes. Now I want to show you something. The worst thing that you can do as a rally joiner is 2 things. Join with a blue hero. This is number 1. The worst thing that you can do as a rally joiner is join with a blue hero. Why is this? It is because their expedition skills are global skills. They do not interact with rallies whatsoever. So if we read Edwin's ultimate expedition skill, it says Edwin uses his knowledge of minerals, increasing the town's quarry output by 25%. What does that have to do with damage to a bear whatsoever? It doesn't. It doesn't. And all of these blue heroes are like that. This one increases the sawmill output, this one increases the iron output, and then olive increases bread output. Okay? So that does not increase damage whatsoever. And if it's level 5, remember what I said about the rally overview. You can only have 4 rally joiner bonuses, and it's dependent on level. So it's even worse if you have a level 5 blue hero in there, because whatever Chankos, if you are one of the first 4 heroes that join, and you join with a level 5 olive, whatever Chankos come after you, you are going to replace that spot. So you are going to end up bringing a skill that increases the town's mill output by 25%, and then if somebody else joined with the correct hero, they're screwed. That entire rally just lost 25% potential lethality. So these are really, really bad heroes to bring. It's all the blue heroes. The next worst thing that you can possibly do is join with what I consider rally leaders. You never want to join a rally with a rally leader. And what dictates a rally leader is when their expedition ultimate skill is chance based. So what's chance based? It says it in the skill description. It says here grants all squads attack a 50% chance of cursing the target. So because they're chance based, their skills have a random chance to trigger, and it makes it highly unreliable for consistent rally boosts. So you could use this hero to join a rally with, but 50 at it's a 50-50 whether that skill is going to even proc. So just highly unreliable. And these are more considered rally leaders, rally leading heroes. This is also, so I'll show you all the rally leaders really quick. I'll just go through them. So Petra, Marlin. Let's look at Marlin's skill. It says right here, Marlin being unpredictable. It's very unreliable, unpredictable. Has a 40% chance of increasing damage dealt by 50% for all squads. So this looks like a good skill, but it's actually a 40% chance, not even a 50-50, it's a 40% chance that it's going to even proc at all. So you're just taking up a space for a skill that might not even end up working. Jable is a rally leading hero. She has a 40% chance of reducing damage taken. And then you also have Zoe. She gains a 20% chance of inflicting sunder. So these are all chance-based heroes, and these are best for leading a rally, not joining. And I guess I'll add a third point. A third point of worst heroes to join with. It's going to be any of the heroes that have nothing to do with increasing damage. So that would be Saul. Okay? Saul, whatever you want to call him. Um, his skill has nothing to do with increasing damage. He increases the total squad's defense and health by 10% and 15%. Has nothing to do with increasing damage. Same with Quinn. He has nothing to do with increasing damage. He's actually reducing damage taken. But like I said, the bear does not do damage. So you don't need to reduce damage taken because the bear's not doing any damage. Your whole goal is to inflict damage. So Quinn is completely and utterly useless. Same with Howard. He reduces damage taken by 20%. The worst champion possible that you could join a rally with, besides the blue heroes, is Diana. Because all that her skill does is reduces Governor's stamina cost by 20%. You don't even use stamina in Bear Hunt. Stamina's not even used, so what is the point? Like, it's a stupid skill. It doesn't even affect the rally whatsoever. Same with Gordon. Terrible champion. He's gonna increase squad's health by 25%. And then this guy, Fod, also a terrible champion to join with. He's reducing enemy squad's damage dealt by 20%, but like I said, the bear does not do damage to you. So that is how to increase damage in other rallies. And then obviously to increase the damage even more is make sure you are leveling up this skill. So it maxes out at level 5, and as you can see here, the upgrade preview, it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25%. You want these skills maxed out. I would say unless you are leading rallies with these heroes, you can completely ignore this skill and only level up their ultimate expedition skill. Because that's the only thing that matters. Now, another thing that I want to say, another note, is you should never lead rallies with rally joiners. One exception to that is Amadeus. So Amadeus is a rally leader and a rally joiner because of his ultimate expedition skill. I use him for rally leading, but he can be used for rally joining. You can use him either way. His skills are just that good. But for any other heroes that you join with, do not lead with them. Do not lead with Chenko. Do not lead with Yanwu. Do not lead with Amane. Don't do that. Don't lead with those heroes. Okay, really quick, this next part is going to be a bonus for people who want to learn how to increase their rally leading damage. I'm just going to go through a quick overview of how to do that and how I personally do that. So it's kind of like my little secret. I'll use this as an example. So remember Nader23, and shout out to Nader23. I'm so sorry for using you as an example. This is very important for them to understand this, okay? So remember Nader 23, okay? And he's doing about 15 million damage in his own rally. He's 102 million power. I'm only 10 million power above him, and I am doing more than half his damage in my rallies. Okay? Another example would be Naughty Peach. Naughty Peach is 4 million power below me, and let's look at her rallies really quick. Sorry, I'm just assuming her gender. I don't know if it's a girl or boy. These are all new people to me. I'm so sorry. A little bit better, but in her own rally, it's like a picture of a girl, so like girl Peach. So I'm just gonna assume it's a girl. I'm sorry. But Naughty Peach in her own rally is doing 14 million damage. And she's only 4 million power below me, right? Again, these people from these people from my alliance are gonna see this. I feel so bad for saying this. It's all a learning process, okay? We're all going through it. Okay? I needed an example for the benefit of everyone, okay? So, the point is that these people are very close to my power range, okay? This is me over here, very close to my power range, but they're doing significantly less in their rallies than I am. My conclusion of why this may be is they most likely have all of their gear dispersed to all of their heroes. So if you put all of your gear upgrades, all of your XP, forge hammers, widgets, everything on your 3 strongest heroes, your rally leaders, you will do more damage for you and everyone who joins your rally. But if you have all of your XP, your forge hammers, and gear and stuff dispersed to everyone, all of your other heroes, you are putting yourself at such a significant disadvantage in Bear Hunt. I always like to show Arena because it has a really good overview of all the heroes. So, as you can see here, my Amadeus, my Petra, and my Marlin has all of the upgraded gear. The rest of my heroes do not. Um, if you want more in-depth explanation about this, I highly recommend you going to my hero gear guide, and skipping to minute 20, because I fully explain it in depth over there. But just in general, if you have all of your gear dispersed, or like all of your gear upgrades dispersed to all of your heroes, a really good option to fix that is going to a piece of gear, clicking on it, and then right down here, the reforge button, you'll have to unequip a piece of gear. So if I unequip this, I can't click on it anymore. So I click a different piece of gear and I go to the reforge button and I can now reforge that, and it's for free. So you can do that on all your pieces of gear and get back all of your XP points and put them back into um all of the gear for your 3 strongest heroes. And it's going to be 3 strongest heroes of each troop type. So 1 infantry, 1 cavalry, 1 archer. So you only want 1 set of gear per troop type. And, if you end up, if you're at like, say, generation 1, and then you get to generation 2, and you get a stronger hero. So if you had like, say, all of your archer gear on Saul, right? Then you can just unequip all of that gear, unequip all, and then you can move it to Marlin once you have Marlin unlocked. So now it's time to do a little bear hunt. And I'm going to film this for you guys, and hopefully this helps you get a better idea of how to play this properly. And also, if anybody's making mistakes, I'm also going to point that out. Again, I'm sorry for whoever I flame on this video. It, I feel really bad, but it's for the greater good. It's all a learning experience. Nothing personal at all to you guys. I just want to I want to point out mistakes so you know what not to do and so you know what rallies should look like. And then I'll explain why it's wrong as well. And I'll go through the rally overview so you can see exactly what happens when you join with a incorrect hero. All right, we're going to click rally and we're going to equalize this and we're going to deploy. And then we're going to try to find the strongest possible people to join rallies. Well, they get filled up so fast, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. So someone joined with Petra. So I'm going to show you in a second why that's wrong and what effect that has. This guy also joined with Gordon, so he's actually messing up these rallies completely. And I will show you why in a second. Got a blue hero. I have all of my formations saved, just by the way, so it's really easy to send everything out. So I'm going to show you what happens when we send out the wrong hero. So this guy, well, they kicked him. So let's go back to the rally that was joined wrong. So Aravind, for example. So let's look at the rally bonus, okay? So because it's actually a low. So as you can see here, Aravind is the second joiner, but his hero doesn't pop up in the rally bonus because his is only a level 3 and everyone else is higher than a level 3. So he got skipped, luckily. Moss type, Beelzebub joined with Jaeger. So as you can see here, this is a 20% chance of increasing squad's damage dealt by 40% for 3 turns. That's actually horrible. It's only a 20% chance. So that means 1 out of 5 rallies, that skill is going into effect. And that's horrible. That's terrible. We go down here. Luckily, that guy's Gordon got skipped. There was another one. Yeah, he joined with a blue hero. Let's see if that got skipped. No, that did not get skipped. So, one of these hero skill slots is taken up now by Edwin's knowledge of minerals, increasing the town's quarry output by 25%. Wow, that's really beneficial to the rally. And that's going to significantly reduce the overall damage that everyone can possibly do in that rally. Another good note is how far away you are from the bear trap is going to affect your march time. So I wish I was a little bit closer because then I would only have about a 5-second march, but instead I have an 18-second march. So, you know, that's going to take 18 more seconds or 13 more seconds for my troops to get home and for me to make another rally, unfortunately. Okay. Well, that hero's really low, so it's actually not that bad because he'll get skipped. So you can see that's a 1 star. So he's gonna get skipped in the rally bonus if other people join with higher level champions. So that's pretty good. I'm actually gonna join with no heroes here because there's too many heroes in there. I'm actually gonna check on my rally, make sure nobody joined incorrectly. So 10 joined with Hilda, but it's only 2 stars, so she gets skipped. So these are all of our bonuses. We have 2 attack bonuses up to 25% and 2 lethality bonuses up to 25%. And that's really, really good. Some people even will argue that it's sometimes better to join with 2 attack bonuses and 2 attack bonuses and 2 lethality bonuses. Because you have the 2 attack bonuses decreasing the enemy's defense so you can do more damage, and then 2 lethality bonuses so that you're doing more damage. So it's arguably better to do 2 and 2 like that, but it's just as good to do 4 stacked lethality bonuses. I need some water. Mama's parched. I might cut that out of the video. I don't think I should have said that. Okay, and I'm so sorry for calling you out like this, Dublins, but you cannot be leading a rally like that with these 3 heroes. So he joined with he led a rally with 2 joiner heroes. So that's going to be 2 rallies that he's losing out on those joiner hero buffs. So you have Chanko and you have Amani there. So he should be leading with his 3 strongest heroes, and then using these 2 heroes, Chanko and Amane, to join other rallies and increase the potential damage. Oh, I forgot to make my rally. Oopsies. And it's also good to look at how many heroes have already joined so that you know whether to waste one of your heroes on that rally or use your hero for a different rally that is in need of heroes. This person is leading with a level 5 Howard. So that's actually really bad. I don't want to join that rally because that's taking away a bonus slot for potential damage. Yeah, this person's rally is going to be a bust because Howard is there and he won't get skipped because he's level 5. Let's check on this one. This one's pretty good. We'll join this one. Join this one with Hild. So now we have lethality by 25%, another lethality by 25%, and then I have an attack by 15%. So that's pretty good. It's an empty rally, so that's why I was okay with joining with Hild, because it's pretty empty. There's only 2 other heroes in here. So you want to have some kind of bonus active in a rally. Like I said, Hild is not the best hero to join with, but something is better than nothing. Oh, we don't want to join with Hild right away because this might fill up. Oh, I want to get in on this one. No! No! She fills up so fast. Her rally's super strong. Can we get on in this one? Yes, we can. We'll get in on that one. Yeah, another thing is that you can join with no heroes at all. So if you don't have a hero to choose, you can just join with no heroes, which is a better option. Joining with no heroes is a really good option if you have used all of your heroes already. And it's a good option because you're only joining with troops, so therefore you get skipped in the rally. And so that allows for other heroes to take the place of the 4 bonuses that you can have. And you joining with no heroes just counts as joining with troops and no hero. So it's a really good option if you don't want to take a space in the rally bonus and you want to allow for other heroes to join. I'm not going to join this guy's rally just because he's using the wrong heroes to lead. It's not going to be a very strong. So we can like look at his stats. These are really, really poor stats. I'll show you a difference in my rally, for example. So if you remember, everything's about 200%. And then as you can see here, squad's lethality is only 32.5%. If we go to my rally, let's make sure nobody joined it correctly. We got it. So my squad's lethality is about 50%, and then the strength of everything is about around over 300%. So when you join with or when you lead with really weak heroes, you're giving yourself a super significant disadvantage in terms of dealing more damage. So as you can see, we have 2 more minutes to join. We have 2 more minutes to lead a rally. Because after the last 5 minutes, you can't lead a rally anymore. So let's see what rallies we can lead, or you can join. You can join this one. We can join this one. How many heroes do we have in here? Not enough, so we'll join with a hero. Oh, well, it's full now. Join this guy with a hero. This person is joining or is leading with the correct heroes, so their stats will be a little bit better. So we will join this rally with no heroes because we don't have any available heroes to join with. This person has some room. Do we have any heroes? No, we don't. So we'll join with no heroes. Ah, Beelzebub with the blue heroes. So we'll go to where's this one. Actually, I don't think it's that big of a deal because there's multiple other heroes, but we did have a Seth join, unfortunately. Oh, that is his Seth. All right. Well, so because the other ones were such a low level, all of them got skipped, and his Seth got applied to the rally. Very much a bummer, but you know, this is why I'm making this video. So that we can learn and we can do better. But yeah, that's very unfortunate. Something that you have to look out for, especially when you're an alliance leader. It's something to really look out for and make sure that you're telling every single person that's leading a rally to check on their rallies and kick people who are not joining correctly and let everybody know how to check their rally bonuses and to check on who is coming up in the 4 hero skills. Um, so, if you have low levels joining your rally, then you're gonna want to, eh, if you have lower level skills joining your rally, and then, like 5 heroes are joining your rally. They're all low skill levels, and then somebody joins with a blue hero that's level 5. All of those heroes are going to get skipped, and that blue hero's skill is going to be applied to the rally and take up a buff slot, which is very unfortunate. So you need to remind people to keep an eye on their rallies and kick people who are not joining correctly, because it's going to significantly decrease the potential amount of damage that you can do in your rally if someone's joining incorrectly. Thank you so much for watching. Um, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll answer them, or you can contact me on Discord. My username's Smelly Summer. I'm also on the official Kingshot Discord server. I'm an official guide writer on there. So you can check the guide channels for my guides there. And you can also reach out to me in game. A lot of people have actually reached out to me in game with different questions. Um, and it's always such a pleasure receiving messages from you guys. You have no clue how amazing it is. It really just it inspires me to keep making these videos. It's also just so sweet to, like, some of you left comments during my hiatus and they're like, "Hey, hopefully you didn't quit and you're still making videos." And it's so refreshing to get comments like that. I still get some of you reaching out to me on Discord saying, "Hi, I watched your video." And it just means so, so much to me. And as long as that keeps happening, I'm still going to be making videos for you guys. So, yeah, any questions or thoughts, leave them in the comments. If you want to see any guides on anything else, leave those suggestions in the comments. I read all of my comments. I respond to mostly all of them. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this has helped you guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.